Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jimbo, and today we're gonna be looking at this product right here by a brand that we've talked about before and that I've been a big fan of before. This is the Torque Detail Original, their graphene, this is their ceramic spray. I've done a review on this and I'll put a card above for that video. They have actually changed the formula a couple times over the years, and I'm not currently a fan of this current formula. It just seems like watered down. It's not as durable as when I did my video, but I will, in fact, leave my video up in the cards below or link down below, along with all the products I'd talk about today in this video. But anyway, they did send me the Graphene Burst Coat. This is their ceramic graphene bottle. This bottle, it's an 8 ounce, I believe. This 8 ounce bottle is going to set you back $36.95, at least at the time of this recording. $36.95. I'm sure if you get it on their website, they will have a discount, or if you're on their email list, you'll get a discount code, or there's probably ways to get it cheaper. But on Amazon, currently, $36.95, which is $2 more than their Torque ceramic spray. But in this video, we're only gonna be looking at the Graphene Burst Coat. So let's take a closer look at it. Then we're gonna apply it on the panel, maybe put it through a torture test, definitely a water test, and all that and more coming up. So let's take a closer look at it. First thing you're gonna notice, hopefully the camera picks this up, is that the graphene or the graphene particles are definitely separating. And even when you shake it pretty hard, if it sits for a while, there is definitely some major separation happening, but we'll leave that be. So on the front label, it claims to have ultra strong graphene technology, SiO2 ceramic for added protection, and instant glass-like coating. So this is gonna be a graphene SiO2 infused product. And again, I think graphene has kind of missed the mark of what a lot of brands were hoping to do with it. And so what graphene has really done, and really its most added benefit, is that it increases the shine and slickness. But that's not really what most people are after. Actually, it is what most people are after, but it wasn't a compelling enough selling argument to really have graphene take off like SiO2 did compared to like traditional waxes. So you want to make sure that you're working in a well-ventilated area. Basic warnings, quite a lot of warnings. Use one microfiber towel, spray directly onto the surface. The second one, so it applies just like any spray protection would. So let's get the panel out, let's apply it. Really, it doesn't talk about anything special that would separate it from the ceramic spray. So it'd be kind of interesting to see, and I'm kind of trying to figure out in real time here if I want to do a comparison on these or just do the graphene only, because I do have a couple videos on the ceramic spray. So we'll probably go graphene only, but really there's no major selling point to spend $2 more for this one, but maybe there's a hidden feature that I'm not aware of. So let's put it on the panel and see what it does. It's been a while since I broke out the trusty old panel, so I gotta prep it. And so in order to prep it, I'm gonna start with the Duplicolor Premium Wax and Grease Remover. Spray that all over the panel, make sure whatever was potentially on there isn't. And then after I'm done with that, I am gonna hit it with 3D Speed and a buffer. So not 3D Speed, 3D1 and a polisher. And then I will once again hit it with the Duplicolor Wax and Grease Remover. And then the panel should be 100% clear and ready to apply the product. So I couldn't help myself. I prepped the whole panel, and I'm like, how am I gonna prep the whole panel and not actually, and talk about ceramic shine in the intro, and then not actually even apply a ceramic shine on the panel. So on the right side of your screen, we have where I will be applying the graphene. On the top left, we have our control, and then just on this bottom quarter, I'm going to put the ceramic spray. And really it's just to see, has the formula changed? Is it good? How does it compare to the graphene? And that's really what goes on very smooth. dissipates fast. And so that's what I ultimately decided on, is I just can't, not knowing if it's better than the ceramic shine is just going to drive me nuts if I do nothing. So decided to do that. Hopefully you guys are okay with it. And if you're not, don't care either. All right, here we go. So I'm going to apply the graphene on this side of the panel. I get it. It's probably an over application. Sniffy sniff doesn't reveal much. A little bit of a chemically smell, but not overpowering like the Adams was when it first came out. Applies very smooth, very nice. Goes on. Doesn't rainbow after the first pass with the towel. It says to use towels, not applicators. And it is very slick underneath the towel. So that looks good. The shine looks good. I mean, it doesn't really get any easier than that to apply. So shine looks good. Application went smooth, just like their ceramic spray went smooth. And so, though it doesn't say to, I am gonna let this cure for 24 hours. It doesn't talk about that anywhere on the bottle, but I am gonna give it 24 hours to fully cure. That way, hopefully it'll eliminate a lot of the negative comments. And so we shall see in a day or so for me. Unless I get busy, then it'll be a couple days. But more doesn't hurt it either. So that's the application, very straightforward. So now for me, I'm just gonna wait. For you, here we go to the torture test. New day, same underwear. No, wait. New day, new underwear. Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, graphene on the right, ceramic shine control on the left. Let's bring in the pressure washer. Do you see how the control is dead flat when I have the water in it? Come on, pressure washer. Should have primed you a little bit better. Whereas the graphene's not, the water's beating right away and sheeting off, and the control is dead flat. See that? That's how we know what the control looks like when the panel is bare, even though it's dispersing pretty good, versus beads and beads. Now, a lot of people are gonna say, well, don't you want a product that sheets as the control panel did? You do want the water to sheet off. However, if this is what a control panel looks like, how do you know when a product is there or not? Also, I did a whole video on blowers versus towels that you could go check out. The thing is with, where's the first torture test product I want? The thing is with a product that sheets over beads is that you just saw when a product sheets and then you drive away, it doesn't really come off the panel. Whereas if the water is beating up, it actually will come off the panel. So the first product that we are gonna torture test it with is this. This is the Hybrid Solutions or Turtle Wax Hyper Foam Wheel and Tire Prep. And for those of you that are new, the torture tests are strictly for fun to see if products hold up to their claims, and what it gives you and me more than anything is, one, I like talking to myself. So I get to talk to myself for a few minutes. What do you get out of it? Well, some people call it torture. Some people like my talking to myself. So first product up, obviously you're not gonna do this to your paint, but we gotta judge these products somehow. And you actually may do that to your paint unintentionally. So that's that. Let's rinse that off. Come on, my pressure washer is eventually gonna fry them and get ready. Prime time. There we go. So now it's a little flat, the ceramic shine is a little flat, and the graphene's a little flatter, but there may be some residue. So we're gonna come in with a wet towel, and the purpose of the wet towel is just that, to remove any residue that may be hanging out on the panel. But it's not a good sign. Usually a product that's very strong, again, if you're new here, a product that's really strong won't, even if there is a little residue left on there, it won't really be showing it. So let's check the water after a torture test, after a towel wipe. So look at how flat it is already. I mean, it's still there, it's still dispersing, but it's very flat already. So look at our control. Control's the top left, dispersing. But compared to what it was, it's just not the same. And that is disconcerting. Usually when we get through the first product, the products that are good and that are gonna hold up through the whole entire torture test, or a good majority through, aren't already breaking down. So there you can see a product that sheets is just a lot harder to get off the panel. So now we're gonna step it up. So usually the first product is an iron remover, a wheel and tire cleaner like this, and then we start stepping up to the harder cleaners. So we're gonna step up to super clean. It's the tough task cleaner degreaser. So if you do like my banter, by the way, and it's not torture to your ears, I do have a podcast as well. Done almost 700 episodes of a podcast since 2014. And I have a slight feeling that this degreaser is going to take care of the product, but we'll see. Now, another reason for these torture tests is, when you eat degreaser, another reason for these torture tests is, if you do have these products applied onto your car and you want to get them off, how do you get them off? So that's a question that came up with Seal and Shine back in the day is, hey, I have Seal and Shine on my car, I love it, but I want to put a fresh layer on. How do I get a bare surface? What do I do? So there's a couple different reasons for these, not including when people want to get rid of them on their car. So there's that. So we have all three sections looking pretty much the same. And once they pretty much all look the same, that's when I call it. So let's see, after the wet towel. Yeah, that's dead. Wow. See how flat that is under the water? Same as ceramic shine. So the ceramic shine really didn't last any longer, or the graphene didn't really last any longer, so that'll conclude the torture test. Kind of unfortunate, but also kind of what I suspected. They were pretty much the same, and they really didn't make it that far through my torture test. Now that doesn't mean there's not a place for these products. It doesn't mean that these are bad products. They just didn't make it through my torture test, but they also really didn't have many claims. So take that for what it is. The purpose of these torture tests are just to have fun and educational, but save yourself a couple bucks and just stick with the Torque Detail ceramic spray. I will say this brings up a gripe that I have with companies like Chemical Guys or all these brands that pop up. F11. It's like, there's so many products and there's so many blenders that you could go to that you don't have to have crappy products. So if anyone from Torque is like interested, you could have a better product, and in my opinion, people would like it more. So, you know, at 40 bucks for an 8-ounce bottle, I know there's a lot of margin in there. And so I would just encourage, you know, the brands to try to make better products, and, you know, maybe get detailers on your team that can tell you. Maybe you just don't know. I don't know, but that's just my opinion. So didn't make it very far through the torch test, but some make it far, some don't make it through at all. And that's just how the torch tests go. So I appreciate you guys sticking through with me for this whole video. Hope you guys will choose to subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. See ya.